everyone. In this video, we'll learn about how to implement debouncing in React.js in three different methods. So debouncing is used for optimizing the performance of a web app. It is done by limiting the rate of execution of a particular function. Now, what does that mean? We'll learn that through an example. So let's just quickly go through the code. So what we have here is a simple React application where we have one component called debounce scratch, and if we go to that component, it is a very simple component. It only has one input box with an on-change event handler attached to it, and whenever we type something in it, a fetch request is being made and the data return is shown in the form of suggestion input or autocomplete options below the input box. So if we run the application and go to Google Chrome, you can see here is our application, and if I type something here, let's say results, the data is shown in this way. Now what's the issue here? So the issue is, as you can see on the network tab in Google Chrome, on every single keystroke, like when we type R, when we type RE, when we type RES, on every single keystroke the API call was made. Now let's say if the user type 50 to 100 characters in the input box, so 50 to 100 API calls will be made, which is not very good when it comes to performance. So what's the solution here? The solution is debouncing. So the first way to implement debouncing is implementing it from scratch. So we'll write our own function to implement debouncing. So let's create a function called debounce. You can call it anything you want, which will take a function as an input, and it will also return us a new function which will be an optimized function. So the logic behind this function will be that only when the time between two key press events is greater than 500 milliseconds or any particular time limit, then only fetch the data from the API. Or in other words, if the delay is more than 500 milliseconds, then only call the handle change or the FUNC method. Now how to do that? For that, we'll create a timer and we'll use the set timeout method. So timer equals null and provide a delay of 500 milliseconds. You can provide any delay you want. Now we'll use the apply method to fix our context. Apply context comma args. We'll declare the context above here. So const context equals this, and if the delay between these two keystrokes is less than 500 milliseconds, then we have to clear this set timeout. So we'll do that with the help of clear timeout method. So if timer, then clear timeout timer. So this is our simple debounce method. Now one thing more, that on our debounce function will be returning us a new function on every rendering that we do not want. So for that, what we'll do, we'll use the use callback hook. So use callback, and here create, let's say, const an optimized function, use callback, and here we'll call our debounce method and provide the handle change method as an input to it. Okay, so now instead of calling the handle change method directly on change, we'll call this optimize method now, optimize function now. So if we save the changes and go back to Chrome, now if let's say I type something here, let's say results, now you see only two API calls are being made when I fully type the results. Let's try anything, let's say test. So see, only when I fully type test, then only the API call was being made. So when I press TEST, so when the time difference between these keystrokes was more than 500 milliseconds, then only the API call was made. So this was implementing debouncing from scratch. Now we'll look at the other method, that is using the Lodash library. So what you can do is you can just run a simple command called npm i Lodash, and Lodash will be installed. So after you have installed Lodash, Lodash provides a debounce method that we can use to limit the rate of execution of our handle change function. So what we have to do is import debounce method from Lodash, and what we have to do, just wrap our callback function with the debounce method provided by Lodash, and as a second parameter provide the amount of delay you want, let's say 500 milliseconds. Now save the changes, and if we go back to Chrome and if we type something here again, let's say results, then again it works the same way. Now if we type test, then again it works the same. So this was implementing debouncing using Lodash. There is one more npm package called React Debounce Input that we can use. So it is the simplest way compared to the previous two method. So to install it, you just have to run a simple command called npm react debounce input, and it will be installed. So what it does, it provides us a debounce input method that we have to use. So let's just quickly import debounce input from React debounce input. Now instead of using our normal input tag, what we have to do, we have to use this debounce input, and now we have to provide some extra things. Let's say minimum length equals 2, and let's say we have to also provide the debounce limit. So our debounce limit timeout will be same as in previous case, 500 millisecond. Now if we save the changes and go back here, now if I type something, let's say results, here it again works the same, test, then again the request is only made when we completely type result test. So this was the third method to implement debouncing. Thank you for watching.